Now a cowboy needs a hat, needs a hat, needs a hat, and a pair of fancy boots, fancy boots, fancy boots.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Some of you guys seem confused that axolotls can regrow limbs. It's like a secret superpower they have that really isn't that much of a secret now that I'm saying it out loud. And pretty much any axolotl can regrow any part of their body, including parts of their brain. But how does that pertain to little Remy here, who I said has some sort of neurological issue? Well, you're in the way, Stark. You see, Remy didn't sustain loss of his brain, he sustained an injury to his brain, which just didn't heal correctly, which means he's a little lopsided. Which you can't really tell when he is sassily walking away. That's so rude, dude. That's a worm, not his tongue. It's his dinner, not part of his anatomy. But scientists are actively studying this, and I'm going to show you guys something pretty cool about how they are. Why am I waving my tongues like a wand? Scientists actually added something called a green fluorescent protein to axolotls so they could study the regrowth of their limbs and gills and all different parts of their body. And lucky for you guys, that's Remy's secret power. Isn't that cool? So yeah, Remy has kind of a superpower, but I guess they all really do. They're basically just real-life Deadpools.
Put your hand in mine. You know that I want to be with you all the time. You know that I won't stop until I make you mine. You know that I won't stop until I make you mine. Until I make you mine. Put your hand in.
My tank looks gross! But I'm about to go ahead and rescape this entire tank, and I thought now would be a great time to explain to you guys what you need for an axolotl tank. So they're all a little bit stressed out right now because I took literally everything out of their tank. Hi Stark, I know I'm working on it. And that's kind of why the tank looks nasty, because I've now swooshed up all the dirt and sediment that was on the bottom of the tank, and it's now just free floating in my water. First off, the substrate I have in this tank is sand. Yes, you can have sand in your tank! Once your axolotl reaches 5 to 6 inches, sand is perfectly fine. Right, Parker? Right? I also have a filter in there, you can see that. A thermometer reading at about 60 degrees, which is alright. So let's start decorating. Axolotls like a lot of places to hide. They're a bottom-dwelling animal, so for every axolotl you have in your tank, you should have at least one space for them to hide. So I have 5 axolotls in this tank. So this big one I'm counting as 3, 4, and 5. They also don't like a lot of flow, so I like to use a plant to kind of slow down the outflow of the filter. So this is kind of my setup for right now. I do plan on making a more in-depth video on my YouTube channel, so go subscribe.
So if you're living in 2020 and you don't have one of these things, how are you getting through this year? I mean, seriously, I can understand if you have a dog, but I mean, look at this face.
This is a video from the day I first introduced my axolotls. As you can see, they immediately started doing a mating dance. Why, you may ask? Because axolotls are completely indiscriminate. They really don't care. They'll get excited over a rock, to be honest. So just so you guys know, my axolotls are gay, and they are in love.
Hello.
thought this would be cool to show you guys. With the afternoon sun coming in, you can actually see the itty bitty bones in Frilly's hands and her beautiful nail polish. Yeah, you're cool.
How I built my axolotl's 40-gallon aquarium. The first steps were laying out fluorite black sand, placing 3-inch PVC pipes as caves, and building dragonstone formations. Then, while we waited for the water to cycle, we added some plants. Sock and Cheese love exploring their aquarium from top to bottom and are super happy babies.
So if you're living in 2020 and you don't have one of these things, how are you getting through this year? I mean, seriously, like, I can understand if you have a dog, but I mean, look at this face.
Boop. Posts up. This is war. Nom nom. Wiggle wiggle. Big nom. Shacks.
Hi, Frilly. So, Mom and Dad are going out of town for the weekend. And Grandma is going to check in with you. It's okay, we'll be back. Grandma's going to look in on you and make sure you're okay. And you are in charge of your little sister. Make sure that she doesn't get into any shenanigans over the weekend. Are you worried? I will be back tomorrow, okay? It's not a long trip. You'll be okay. I love you. So my most popular question is, where can I get an axolotl? The answer is that they come from private breeders. My goal is to get people to shift that question into, where can I go to learn about caring for these animals? Axolotls are quite sensitive and they have a lot of special needs. It does take quite a bit of knowledge to maintain them, keep them healthy, and that can be quite a bit of work. You will also be spending quite a bit of money to maintain their environment. And these guys are going to be a 10 to 15 year commitment. If you're taking care of them properly, they live a long time. I have a lot of educational videos on my channel, so if you're interested in learning about their care, please go through the channel. First and foremost, you have to know how to establish and maintain a nitrogen cycle on your aquarium.
Oh, doctor.
We spent 2.5 months building this aquarium for some unusual new pets. Can you guess what they are? I made a mistake here. I tried to feed Hades while Pinky was too close. You can see Pinky going for the worm too. I tried to stop him from going for the worm.
Maybe bring out the big guns.
Then he went after the worm and I was afraid they might hurt each other accidentally. They're both okay though.
So you want to own an axolotl. First, you need to start with at least 15-gallon tank. Each additional one needs at least another 10 gallons. So 2 axes equals 20 gallons. Next, you need to invest in a water testing kit. Very important to cycle your tank. Most axes do not need any kind of substrate. However, it can be stressful to them to have a bare bottom tank. Sand is recommended for axes only 5 inches or bigger. Any kind of plastic or live plants recommended work for decor. A low-flow filter for your tank size is the way to go. They aren't great swimmers, think betta fish. Axes need to be kept in cooler temperature water. It's best to monitor the temp with a thermometer. Anytime you add water from a tap to your tank, you need to dechlorinate it. A dechlorinator is a must.
The music,